Hi guys, I hope you all are doing well and welcome to the second video of this entire series of Exchange Server 2019. In the last video, we discussed few important concepts of Active Directory. We also discussed why Active Directory is required for Exchange Server. In this particular video, I will demonstrating you how to install Active Directory role on Windows Server and how to promote that server as a domain controller. So we are going to set up a domain controller on this particular server. This machine is Windows Server 2019 data center machine. And as of now, this is a workgroup machine and computer name for this machine is DC. Now, before we set up a domain controller, we need to make sure that we are logged into this machine as an administrator account. And the second thing is we need to make sure that the machine has static IP addresses assigned. So currently I'm logged in with admin account. And now let's check the IP configuration of this particular server. Let's go to properties, uncheck IPv6 and go to IPv4. So as of now, static IP addresses are not assigned to this particular machine. Let's go to command prompt and let's check IP configuration for this server. So the IP addresses, let's assign these static IP addresses. IP address is 10.128.0.2. Subnet mask is 255.255.240. And default gateway is 10.128.0.1. In the preferred DNS server, I will be mentioning the same IP address of this machine. And the reason is when we install first domain controller within the forest, DNS role is also installed within the domain controller. So by mentioning the IP address of this machine in preferred DNS server, what I'm trying to do, I'm pointing the DNS server to this domain controller. If you do not want to mention the IP address of this machine, instead of IP address, you can mention 127.0.0.1. This is a loopback address, so by default, it will point to this machine itself. So either you can use 127.0.0.1 or you can type the IP address of the machine itself. And for alternate DNS server, I will be using 8.8.8.8. So click OK and click OK again. So the IP addresses are assigned. Let's close this and let's close this as well. Let's go to Server Manager. To install Active Directory role, you will click on Add Roles and Features. Here we will click on Next, click Next, and click Next. On this particular wizard, you will select Active Directory Domain Services role. Click on Add Features, click Next. No changes are required here. Click Next, Next, and click Install. So this particular wizard will install Active Directory Domain Services and it will install Group Policy Management, Remote Server Admin Tools, Role Administrator Tools. So it will install all these tools and roles on this particular server. And once Active Directory Domain Services role is installed, after that we will promote this server as a domain controller. So Active Directory Domain Services role has been installed. And now it is giving you an option to promote this server as a domain controller. Either you can click on this option or you can go to notification area. And here you can also click on promote this server to a domain controller. So let's click on this and this will open another wizard. On this particular screen, you can select if you are trying to add a secondary domain controller or you are trying to add a child domain, or this is the first domain controller of your forest. So the first option says add a domain controller to an existing domain. If you already have a domain deployed and you are trying to add additional domain controller within your domain, in that case, you can select the first option. Second option is add a new domain to an existing forest. If you already have a forest and domain deployed and you are trying to add a child domain within the forest, then you can select this option. And if you are trying to deploy the first domain controller within your forest, in that case, you will select the third option that says add a new forest. So this will be the first domain controller for my forest. So I will be selecting the third option. And here you will type the domain name that you will be using for the user accounts as an UPN or email addresses in your on-premise. For example, for my environment, I will be using Office 365 concepts.com domain. Click Next. Here it will ask you for forest functional level and domain functional level. Forest functional level decides the version of Windows Server that you can use for domain controllers within your forest. For example, if I select Windows Server 2012 R2, in that case, within my forest, I will not be able to use any lower version of Windows Server for the domain controllers than 2012 R2. I can use either Windows Server 2012 R2 version for the domain controllers within the forest, or I can use Windows Server 2016. However, I cannot go lower than 2012 R2. Forest functional level is applied on the forest level, and domain functional level is applicable on the domain level. Next is if you want to install domain name system on your domain controller or not. As I discussed earlier, the first domain controller within your forest will have domain name system role installed automatically. However, you have an option, you can uncheck this and you can set up another server for domain name system. I will be using the same server for domain controller and for DNS as well. So I will leave this option checked. And the first domain controller within your forest will be a global catalog server. You cannot change this option, so that is the reason this option is grayed out. And you cannot make the first domain controller of your forest a read-only domain controller. Next, it will ask you the password that you will be using while restoring Active Directory. So here you can type a password and click Next. No changes are required here. Click Next. On this particular screen, it will automatically detect the NetBIOS domain name. If you want to change it, you can change this as per requirement, or if you want, you can leave it as default. Click Next. Now here it will show you the default path where database files will be stored, log files will be stored, and sysvol folder will be stored. These are the default locations. If you want to change these locations, you can click on these three dots and you can browse to the location where you want to save these files. Once you have made the changes, click Next, click Next again. Now this wizard will check the prerequisites. If any prerequisite is not met, it will throw you an error on this particular screen. As of now, all prerequisite checks are passed. So now I can click on Install and this wizard will promote this server as a domain controller. So this machine is ready now. And let's go to computer properties. And now here we can see the domain name is showing office365concepts.com and the computer name is dc.office365concepts.com. And if you want to access Active Directory tools, you can go to Server Manager, you can click on Tools, and then you can access Active Directory Admin Center or Active Directory Domain Trust. You can access Active Directory Users and Computers. Under Active Directory Users and Computers, you can manage all the objects of your on-premise Active Directory. So this is your Active Directory domain that we selected while promoting the domain controller. These are the organizational units and these are the accounts within the OUs. If you want to create a user account or any object within Active Directory, select the OU where you want to create that object. For example, if I want to create object within users OU, so I will right click, go to new and go to user. Here you can fill in the details. For example, test user, enter login name, next, and let's select password never expires. Let me type it again. Click next, finish. So this is how you can create a user. Same way, if you want to create a group, you can click on group, fill in the details, and you will be able to create the group as well. In the next video, we will be talking about domain name system. We will discuss what is DNS and how does it work, how DNS resolution process works. We will talk about different types of DNS records and how to create those DNS records. So that is all for now. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Take care.